Yeah, my name's Ed. I'm from Addario's Plumbing. We're here to swap out this Burkay unit today. It's 660,000 BTUs plumbed in 2-inch copper. We're going to be taking this out because it's an old unit. I just put this in temporarily so that they could get some hot water. What we were having is some flue gas issues. There was a makeup air issue going on where they weren't getting enough makeup air in here to burn this properly. It soaked up the old unit, causing a CO detection by the gas company and the fire department. They shut it down, and now we're here to fix it. So we're going to get going on that. We did notice a couple other issues that we're going to address with the client, and we'll go from there. But our main goal today is to get this up and running properly so that they can have hot water. So these are 3 200-gallon storage tanks. What we did notice is, one, there's no recirc, there's no check valve on this, which means it can pump the hot water back through and backfeed the system. So we need to install a check valve here. And also we noticed that there's not equidistant plumbing off of the top of these 3 tanks. So the tank that's furthest away isn't really getting used. So what we're going to recommend is that we replumb it so that it is all equidistant. So what happens when it's not equidistant is it relies on the closest 2 valves, or the closest 2 discharges off the top of the tank, which is the hot water. And so the 2 closest to the feed will draw off, and the 3rd tank becomes useless, more or less. So what we want to do is give them the full capacity of 600 gallons instead of a capacity of 400 gallons. So if you pan down into here, you can see how sooted up the coils are. This is not allowing for the proper combustion of the fuel, which then sent the fuel vapor up into the venting, into the flue, which then I was able to actually ignite when I was doing some testing on it. It looked like a jet engine up there, and that's not good. So we started running our test. We have our Burkay fully installed. We found some issues with the way things were plumbed in, but we took care of that. That's another segment which we'll go over afterwards. We're testing for the CO limits right now, and right now we're at 10 to 11 parts per million, and the acceptable range is up to 200. So we're running nice and efficiently. There's no risk of a CO detector going off, and we're running efficiently. So we're looking good here. Much better than the 1,700 parts per million that we were running on the last test, which was on the old unit. That's a proper draft, and it doesn't ignite. We're good. So this is the Simmons mixing valve, 1.5 inches, well, 1.25 inches. It's sized in 2-inch coming down and out of it. What it does is it takes super hot water from this side, which is running at about 180 degrees, and it takes cold water, and that whatever the temperature of the cold water is, mixes it through here and gives us whatever set temperature we want, which right here is at 130 degrees, which will service the whole building. Before, it wasn't even going through this mixing valve. It was being bypassed. It was being forced straight off of the hot water tanks out to the system. And what they did was they set the Burkay at 140 degrees and running it as a domestic hot water device instead of a hot water furnace, which is what it's meant to be. So now that I got that bypass shut off, we're now using and utilizing the mixing valve, increasing their capacity of hot water to the unit because we're mixing super hot water with normal temperature cold water, and we're getting our mixed water here. So they'll have more water capacity for all the guests in the hotel. So we just finished our install of the Burkay 660,000 BTU hot water furnace. It's working properly. We ran the test on it. It's running only 14 parts per million of CO gas going up the flue, so it's safe, it's working properly. We're allowed up to 200. Anything lower than 200 is more than acceptable. So on top of that, we found another issue with the plumbing in here, which was causing a bypass situation to happen on the mixing valve, so it wasn't using the mixing valve. So we were able to isolate that problem and get it to work through the mixing valve so that they get the proper hot water at the right temperature and use the storage tanks properly and not just as a domestic hot water device. So with that being said, I think that's it. We wrapped it up. We're all cleaned up, ready to go.